Welcome back to River City Live. Right now we're talking about spring break snacks for kids. Our friend Kingsley is back. Welcome back to the show. Now, the first time you were on, we were talking about teenagers, vocabulary, and trends. And now we're talking about snacks. And it's interesting because I find that teens, you really have a refined palate when it comes to food.
Yes.
When I was your age, it was none of this stuff. It was like Pop-Tarts, chips, maybe a bologna sandwich, but you've really upped your game and you're gonna walk us through some great snacks that are perfect for spring break.
Yes. So the first one is avocado toast. That's my personal favorite. I actually used to be a really picky eater, but once I started getting into the kitchen and started cooking by myself, I really started liking, started stretching out my palate more.
And then you made this from scratch then, correct?
Yes, I did. It has bell peppers and onion in it, and I personally like to put in the everything but the bagel seasoning. And if you have a really sophisticated palate, I put on feta cheese and a balsamic glaze drizzle,
Wow.
which is my personal favorite.
And obviously you're preparing this really fast. So for all the parents at home right now, take notes because look at this. This looks great. This looks like something you'd pick up at a restaurant.
Yes. And then our next one is more of a morning snack. It's an English
butter?
muffin with peanut butter, honey, and banana.
So I've had this before, but not with the honey. That's a really good move. It was sweetened up a little bit.
Yes. I like to use local honey most of the time, but this time we're using this honey from Publix.
And you know what? For some kids out there that are kind of picky eating in the morning, because I know a lot of times, I'd say half my kids, they don't want breakfast in the morning, they're just not hungry. This is great because if you think about it, it's a pretty balanced meal. You're getting protein, you got the potassium and some of the good sugars from the banana, and then obviously you got the bread and the muffin. So it's a well-balanced, nutritious meal to get started. And I like, again, the honey, adding that on there.
Yes.
Well played.
And then next is just a plain old quesadilla. Now, some kids, if you're a little bit older, you're allowed to use the stove, but it's really just like a quick lunch meal or like a brunch that you can make yourself.
And I like this because, you know, like I was saying at the beginning of this segment, you know, back in my day, it was just a sandwich. But you're doing a lot of substitution here where it looks better, you're expanding their horizons when it comes to food and you're making it more fun. And I think another big part of this is you're involved in the process.
Yes.
And I think that helps out a lot.
Yeah, once I started cooking at Jack's Cooking Studio, it kind of forced me to try new things. And once I started trying new things and getting into the kitchen and cooking more myself, I started liking things.
Yeah, no, I totally see that. And then I see you have some hummus over there too. It's another great way to get in the good fats and some protein at the same time.
Yeah, so this is just a nice healthy snack. I cut up bell pepper, cucumber, and just some tiny carrots.
Yeah, that is great, and it's colorful.
And I like dipping it in this hummus, which is super good.
And Kingsley, let me ask, I know you're never supposed to ask a woman their age, but how old are you?
I'm 11.
11 years old. I am blown away. You are super talented. Thanks again for all your time and for introducing some of these concepts to our viewers out there, because I know during spring break, a lot of times as a parent, you keep hearing, what's there to eat? We have nothing to eat.
Yeah,
well,
and
now
they end up
you know
getting
there is.
hangry.
Exactly.
Yep, don't want them to
Hangry.
get in the hangry zone.
If it's one thing we learned today, it's exactly that. Well, thank you so much. We
Thank you
appreciate
for
it.
having me.